Hey everyone, it's Simon Rollings here from The Complete Presenter, and today we're going to be talking about a very simple tactic that can really increase our confidence. I spend a lot of time talking to clients. It's probably the most asked question I have from my clients, which is how to improve their confidence, particularly as it pertains to presenting, whether that be virtual or in those heady days where we used to be able to see each other face to face. And a really tried and tested technique that can help, and it sounds counterintuitive, but I asked them to tell me what is the worst that could happen. So the Dr. Pepper approach, if you will. So what is the absolute worst thing that can happen? And they start to list off things that are never going to happen. They're like really crazy things. Like one of them that always sticks in my mind was one client I worked with, a really senior person who was doing big company-wide presentations. I was working with them on a one-to-one basis. I asked her this question, and I made her list out the things because she really did have an issue with her confidence. And one of the things was that she would trip over on stage, and the other was that she wouldn't be wearing all her clothes, or she'd be having some sort of clothing malfunction. And it was it's really crazy things, and then all you do is go through that list. So I'd strongly recommend actually write down the things that you're genuinely panicking about. And I've talked about this before, but it's often our subconscious making what psychologists call catastrophic fantasies. So things that are absolute catastrophes but also are fantastical. They're very unlikely to happen. So write them all down. What is it that you're worried about? And then each one think, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is that to happen based upon past experience? And inevitably the vast majority are 1 out of 10. Every now and then you might get a 5 out of 10. You might even get a 7 or 8 out of 10 if it's happened before. And if that is the case, well then no problem. Then just think, what can I do to mitigate that? So for instance, when it comes to the wardrobe malfunction, I said, how likely is that to happen? Has that ever happened before? And she's like, no. And it wouldn't happen. I'd always double check what I was wearing. I was like, right, so we can score that a 1? And of course we could. The trip over on stage, we got to that one and said, how likely is that to happen? She said, well, actually, I'm quite a clumsy person, so that really could happen. That's at least a 5. I said, right, okay, so let's deal with that then. If that happened, if that was the worst thing, and if you did trip up on stage, what would actually be the real outcome? And she thought about it and thought, well, unless I actually hurt myself, which is really unlikely, as long as I laugh about it, everyone else will find it funny. It will be something that, yes, will be remembered. Maybe not for the right reasons, but it will create a moment, and then I'll just get on with it. I was like, right then. So even if the worst did actually happen, it is no biggie. And often when I do that with clients, it just frees them up out of all of this catastrophic fantasies that are going on in their mind, and then enables them to be their genuine, passionate, authentic selves. So if you haven't tried this one before, give it a go. And it doesn't have to be, of course, just presenting. It can be anything that you're feeling a bit nervous about. Start to think, what is going on in your head? What are those catastrophic fantasies? And then just go through them one by one. Discount the ones that are just never going to happen, and the ones that could, well, mitigate them, and think, how could, if it did happen, how could I either turn it into a positive or just kind of roll past it? And hopefully you'll find you'll get a lot more confidence almost instantaneously. If you found this useful, please do like, comment, share, follow, all the things that you can do with these videos. That would be great. And if you want to be part of the ongoing conversation, I have a free Facebook group called Complete Presenters, where we talk about all things to do with influential communication and how to be hopefully more successful in what we do, and have a bit of fun whilst doing it as well. So it would be great to see you over there, but if not, look forward to seeing you next time.